So they tried this and tried that, but irregularity kept coming back all the same.
Garrett X Aim's YouTube channel. Guys, welcome back. Today, we're going to be diving right in. I got some Cassidy gameplay for you. Went kind of insane this game. I'm currently around like Diamond 1. I'm making some crazy improvements. However, the whole idea of this video came from a solid week of me just being insanely tilted. I scorched my hand in the sauna at the gym, and I'm telling you, everything just went downhill from there. Luckily, I came up with an idea on how to effectively utilize my tilt. I told myself, yeah, this sucks. But that doesn't change the fact that I have a goal, and that goal is to improve as a player. So I'm not gonna let this stop me. So here we are. These are just some of the tips that I use to get through my tilt and exhaustion. I hope you find them helpful. Let's get into it. So the first skill you're going to want to be utilizing when you're tilted is going to be called awareness. Everything always starts with awareness. Chances are, your internal awareness is already pretty good, considering you're sticking around for this video. This is a great sign. Now, how can we take this awareness and apply it to our game? The first thing I'd start off with is figuring out the type of tilt that you personally experience. Everyone is so vastly different when it comes to mental cognition and how they perceive their own gameplay. So you can kind of look at it as an introspective challenge for yourself. To give you an example, I get really bad perfectionistic tilt. It's kind of like I'm watching myself play and make mistakes. Every time that I make a mistake, it just adds to the pile of me becoming more and more tilted. When I personally can identify mistakes that I'm making within my gameplay, and I don't have the ability to immediately fix them, I get insanely tilted. And that's okay. You see, whenever you've reached the upper limit of what your brain can process within a given amount of time, it's gonna start to throw a hissy fit. The problem is, the temper tantrum that your brain is throwing is gonna make complete and total sense to you. At least in the moment, that's how it's gonna seem. However, when you practice awareness and give yourself the space to reflect on the mental chatter within your tilt, you're already one step further than the competition and even conquering tilt to begin with. And that's the main goal. Great segue into our next tip here, which is understanding your mental capacity. Tilt and exhaustion is always going to stem from internal overload. You can think of your brain kind of like the processor in your computer. Your processor can only do so much before it reaches 100% capacity. Think about what happens when you have an immense number of programs all going at once. Your computer starts to freeze. It can't process everything, so you need to dial down the load on your system. Seriously, this is a key point. If you're doing too much and your focus is too divided, you're going to see detrimental results in your gameplay. Some advice I could offer you for this is to focus on one thing at a time. If you think your aim sucks, put more mental attention towards focusing on your aim. If you're stuck in a cycle of making bad plays and unintentionally throwing the game, take a step back and analyze the strategies you're using. Don't overload yourself. This was a big problem for me when I was tilted, so I just took it one step at a time. Guys, the cold brew is flowing within me right now. We're about to dive into the meat and potatoes of this video, my friends, because this next one is big. Now check this out, we got focus on the process. I read this book one time. It was called The Practicing Mind by Thomas Sterner. The whole point of this book was to focus on the process of whatever you're doing. Now, I have an inspirational quote for you. How you do one thing is how you do everything. We can apply this to gaming. Overwatch, Counter-Strike, doesn't really matter what game you're playing, and that's kind of the point. If your entire goal is to improve as a player, then focus on the process of improving as a player. When you're tilted, you're gonna have an enormous amount of mental chatter that you're gonna need to sift through. A lot of these thoughts are gonna be very ego-driven and honestly, kinda useless. When you can recognize this, you're gonna be able to sort through all of the nonsense and focus on the actual process. A big part of focusing on the process of improving is setting your expectations accordingly. If you know you're exhausted before you begin your session, then chances are you're not going to be playing optimally. Try to look at it as an opportunity to grow as a player rather than focusing on the fact that you're not going to be playing perfectly. Another huge tip that I learned recently is to try and play as if you're playing for the first time ever, as if you've never touched the game. I know this one sounds kind of crazy, but stick with me. This is going to force you to mentally reframe how you think about the game. Sometimes going back to basics and thinking about how you teach a younger version of yourself to play the game will offer you an interesting perspective into what you confidently do and confidently do not know. Another quick one for you, try and make it fun. I know, it sounds crazy. Just try and make it fun for yourself again, you know? I mean, really, that's why we all play, right? Play some music, don't take it too seriously, and just have fun with it. There's always going to be a large amount of variance, especially within a competitive environment. So if you can get past that, just have a good time with it, you will have a much better overall experience. Now this last one is crazy. Can we get a drum roll, please? Go to sleep.
Good kitty.
Hey bro, sometimes you just gotta turn off the PC, make yourself some good food, watch some cool YouTube videos, you know, kinda like what you're doing right now. When you're overloaded and tired, you need to get good, high quality rest. This could also be in the form of a small break or meditation. I'm not trying to get too like hippy dippy on you, but point being, your brain probably just needs a break. Get some sleep, try again tomorrow, in a couple days, in a couple hours, in a couple minutes. Let your brain absorb and process all the information you've been receiving, and come back strong once you feel comfortable. And that's it. Hope you all found this video helpful. If you have any questions, I love going through the YouTube comments, so let me know down below. Thank you for watching. Be kind to yourself. Have a great day.